We're back with some of this again. So last episode, California finally got their independence. And so now we shall build up the nation. There's a bunch of sip factories, a bunch of mill factories there. You'll get the last two some more sieves. Then after that be sieves as well. So yeah, we're finally getting this thing started with the unification. And if you've seen before, you know what path we're going down on. Let me mic out real quick. So let's start with California Dreamin', one of my favorite songs, by the way, if you know it. With the current crisis engulfing the nation and a populace at the end of the rope, one has become clear: we must not subject our citizenry to the horrors that are going on out east. While the rest of America burns, California will become a safe haven for all of our tired and poor until California has a dream of a better future. Yeah, hopefully. A bunch of yes. Not gonna get that going. If we do get the chance to. Can't really do much about that because I'm not really care for the Navy at this point, so I'm gonna slow things down a bit because a bunch of events are gonna pop up real quickly. There's a too loud for you. Texas. Papio Donald. Anyway, here's a neutral location. An extremely wise decision by our local authorities, it was decided that California state authorities would convene Riverside. A place mostly with no political connection that doesn't have a Hispanic name, avoiding the eye of conservatives and liberals alike as we determine the future of California in our beloved Riverside. So yeah, we're getting a bit up to whether the United Front, don't be the Democrats, see victory, whether you can have a split, is that Republican or revived Democratic Party. Sinclair's revision of socialist, and of course the path that we're going for today, because that would be pretty interesting. I might do Sinclair's path later. In that time, I wanted to show off this one first, cause it's interesting to say the least. Anyway, oh how far the mighty have fallen. Welcome to California. Regardless of how you arrived here, America has collapsed. Nothing else except our fair nation quite matters anymore. From the sea we came, to the shining sea we arrived. We, the heirs of Jamestown, have finally arrived to the logical conclusion of America's experiment: death. And so we must pick up the pieces and try to continue living. Even if it requires scraping by and poverty, people in the streets are dying. The Riverside Council is trying its best to maintain order and resources get badly allocated, and chaos in general ensues. It's also a patriarch prefer to this new experiment being birthed for the American experiment. Perhaps good things will come from this. Perhaps this is our future. Yeah, maybe. Got all sorts of people here. Anyways, you're in for a scare. Goosebumps. From his apartment, as your boy Bolden. From his apartment, Bolden watched the sunset engulf the innocent of California. As the monster's realms beckoned out as the sign of their vanquished solely, he nodded for the evil presence of demonry and ungodliness arrived within the air. All around the world was the spirit of evil fermenting the undead, ghostly presence, extraterrestrials, and of course, the flaws of mortal men, all to come out after the sun. For hours he watched out his window as the world set into black. He tried to get himself to shut out the world after that, to blissfully go into the realm of fantasy, but the problem kept gnawing at him, and he was forced to reside within the domain of paranormal until God set the sun back. But he figured that it was all but pointless to fight the struggle alone, so he turned on KCW. One favorite broadcast station that gave him some comfort within the blackness. But the contest proved that the darkness had infested much more than simply physical vision. Horror stories come on the air, a situation in the East was revealed to be rapidly deteriorating, and the Civil War was imminent. Of course, he muttered silently to himself. The darkness came earlier in the East, nothing but filled him with dread. Also something else, something he hadn't expected. Hope. He knew that eventually the darkness would end, but if this hope could be experienced by all, wouldn't that just be better for the world? Enlightenment is what they call it, the torch. Yes, he realized, and immediately rang up the quite frightened operator with excitement on a goal of eternity finally coming to reach. He asked, "Operator, put me in to Alan Frost." Olsen's pipe dream. Olsen could hardly bear the thought that the East was done. He knew that the anarchists had done their part. The Morte was revolting. The situation was basically done and over with. But that's not what he had to do today, was it? No. Today they got to yet another conflict for his election campaign. Well, elections? The articles were never going to play by the rules. Everyone knew that. He should be trying to preserve this institution that built the state and union, instead of pretending that everything was fine. Of course, himself for being such a politician. He drove to the damned office. When he opened the door, he was certainly not expecting Disney to propose asking his opinion on the whole matter and how it would affect California. You want my opinion on the current situation? Well, it is really only one thing to ask. We are going to stand through this. You know why? Because we got brains, brawn, and kindness to do so, and we're not ready to kill each other over such trivial things. We can't allow ourselves to fall like everyone else has, because if not us, then who? He didn't answer me. Yeah, what was only an answer? Okay, this is epic. Got the in that. Leclerc walked through the streets before his eyes forming gloomy images of downtown Los Angeles. First, the market crashed and his disaster of emergency made the city shadow form itself. The homeless and beggars became a common sight, even in the once nice and clean part of the city. Many buildings were abandoned, sounding like empty brick huts. All was missing Claire's sick. The big wigs in these stabs were seen to be derived of compassion, not even noticing how the shenanigans made the nation die. Something had to be done. The state should finally help its people, not some liberal bureaucrats or whoever this madman Bolden served. His message was blunt and direct as a club, end poverty in California. And she cannot claim greatness when her sons are starving. Indeed. I've got Louisiana over here. These guys are interesting. Because they're part of the SFLEs. And guess what? SFL France. So yeah, you could basically have an American SFL over here. With the Willem A. Saboros. I would like to see how that turns out. Because I know the SFL are as of now, but with the reworks and all that, I'm curious to see how these guys are gonna turn out as well. Whether it be kind of like the rework, the regular, or something different. Gotta get this equipment started up. Also need to do some more focus trees over here. Neutral location. Let's get election preparations. A nation cares for a lack of elected official to lead our nation. We're in need of a government that's staying true to the democratic principle. America shall hold course with only God knows how, with only God knows radical violence abounding on our streets. Special precautions will have to be taken to ensure that the process of the system runs smoothly. However, it is paramount that we uphold these principles. We are in fact a democracy. Democracy. That's about the river. For a few months, the quiet Parasite River side will become the beating heart of the world in Steinbeck. None of them so missed to go on to see firsthand. No boat riding, strolling down the then Queen Anne Mansion and tourist-friendly Spanish mansion-style hotels, dodging the hundreds of other journalists, dozens of military policemen was a hard task. Nothing his athletic body could not handle. It was a good spot to look over the whole scene. From there, just a few feet from the old courthouse, he could spot everyone easily. It was a tall, melancholy figure, C.C. Young, talking to his senator friend Yanni. The banker, and not much farther away, lukewarm Democrat Creel passionately argued with someone from his own party as usual. He could not help but notice as well some similar faces from movies like Clark Gable, Spencer Tracy, and Katharine Hepburn. Although he had heard Hepburn was convicted leftist like himself, she did not seem to take issue with the two men's spiritual affiliation. And the three laughed quietly together. Neither Bowden nor his lackey Hubbard, that's L. Ron Hubbard by the way, appeared to come to the first meeting to the Riverside Council. That was for the better, as Steinbeck didn't believe he had the stomach to endure a report on some schizophrenic drew about ghost stories and pseudo-intellectual narcissism. Finally, his eyes met the man he's been looking for this entire time. Upton Sinclair. That's how poor, fair, and just America, robbed of opportunity to change dying state. Sinclair was completely alone, while other soldiers chatted away. It was time, and every man from every party started making their way to the gargantuan marble acres of the courthouse. Stoic Sinclair suddenly sprang into motion and walked decisively towards the council. Only time will tell the outcome. The Californian interregnum begins. Yeah, that's the whole election stuff that's gonna go down. And we get to choose who we can do. We already know what we'd be doing. KCW broadcast number 1. Yeah, live events when first and last, which is I just slow it down for a bit. Callaway's second the dramatic silence paused until the presenter squirmed into his seat, carefully read the note edition that sent him. It could very well be the most important moment of his career as a radio personality. He gasped for air away from the mic and turned to speak. Despite being cripplingly nervous, he managed to be monotone and clear as possible for his audience. This is an official announcement from the Emergency Committee of the State of California. Henceforth called the Riverside Council. Seeing the inability of the federal government of the United States of America to maintain a state of normalcy in the Union, California will, from now on, be politically and economically self-sufficient until such state nationwide normalcy is restored. California will, as well, not join or participate in any plots against what is left of the United States. This is a formal declaration of neutrality, and attacks against its sovereign territory will be answered with strength of arms. Any and all citizens who wish to know more detailed situation should contact their local representative, as they are instructed to answer any questions asked. Order stability shall be guaranteed under any circumstances. God bless America. God bless California, and God bless America. Sorry. The stanza of I Love You, California, blared from the radio of every citizen, filling the home of millions with uncertain future. The sun sets, state rises. So, this is the sunshine state. The sunset. So you know. Election preparation. Okay, Jefferson, we haven't done that yet. Because Jefferson hasn't broken away yet. For almost 100 years, the good people of America and West were subject to the machinations of fundamentalist, polygamists, and those Mormons. For far too long, they have been allowed to reign supreme in the West without a borderline pagan religion, stirring parallels to papism. Reports of border conflict in the valley have spread steadily following the illegal siege of Reno by self-proclaimed Deseret Authority. But we love to crush the desert experiment, we must deal with our internal problems first. So like the all spiritually conscious California, the day will come when we must defend ourselves against the foul emanations of the Deseret Authority. So yeah, they are main rivals. Deseret. Them Mormons. Home over here, also accelerationist. Of technocracy, huh? We are, in fact, a democracy. One thing that may be forgotten due to the last postponement of state elections of the backroom power sharing agreements of the Riverside Council is that the new California Republic, NCR, is still a democratic state as the immediate situation stabilizes. Two things are becoming evident. First, that there is very little the Republicans, Democrats, Progressives, and Spiritualists can agree on. And second, that the general population would like to have a say in the government. We need an election. The first federal elections in the new state will be critical in establishing what kind of country the new California will be, with the 6 Ohio promises to be a dramatic, contested event. Hopefully, we can withstand it to get to work. See, I'm going to war with that. Oh, Armenia. The social them. Somewhat democracy. So the green that. Let's mean the Orenburg, even though they don't exist anymore. Nice job. K's doing things. Siberia got election. These guys are in a faction. European Union. Poland. Doing Cardinal Marshall. So I wait for Desiree to do things. Let's get do we even have a California? Militias. Let's do a world a bit of California. Dakota over here. Langer. Now we got the New Mexico, Colorado emergency government. Omar Bradley. They got even just like 3 emergency governments. There's still playing nations that will break free soon. How many views? Oh yeah, we got this guy up here. Fortress Buster. And then scared you promoted because you gonna be an offensive boy. Yeah, offense, my friend. Turn that up just a wee bit. So yeah, we've been building up California. We've also been building up the rest of the stuff over here. Once I do that, what path should we go down? Let's try some of this. A wee bit different. You know, with that trench warfare. The Navajo. The Vanguard Socialists over here, and then they got the SFL accelerationists. It'll be interesting if these guys could probably. I don't know, I had like this idea ever since I saw this, was like whether France and Germany can like get these two to unite. Like if they become unified, they can like potentially have these two guys do that a proxy war or something. No, this is an idea I had for this when I first saw it. Like it would be interesting to see how that could work. A proxy war over here, because you got the Vanguard Socialists and you got like some accelerationists over here, and they're probably like Louisiana over here. There's probably some French aligned accelerationists as well, so it wouldn't be that out of place for like some kind of proxy war over here. That's just me. Cream Puller with the Great Witch. We got Great Cynthia, and you got all this buffs. Not bad. Huh. Bay Area Industries. Just the Butler clique, oh yeah, Smelly Butler. And was it the gunpowder plot? I think that's what it was called. I think he was involved with that. A film over here. So for what I've learned, the greater Italian state, that's a shame, it's not the Italian shogunate anymore. I saw a sub-mod that brings back the name Italian shogunate, but I think that's part of the French, not the French rework, it's going to be part of the Fiume rework. Yeah, there's a model to bring by the Italian shogunate. But right now they're gonna make it so that way if something's changed, I don't know what that would bring. Would be interested. See, oh yeah, Steve Jefferson is over here. Over the video. You seen my oh wait, I did a teaser video that showed off the Jefferson accelerationist is over here. Don't know if I uploaded that. I'd like to see if I haven't. I'll try to find the time to. There's a little something over here for the accelerationist in Jefferson. Let's see, fancy council. Don't know who else. The Manchu state is dead. Maybe get a Roy up. That by the infantry stuff. To see. Probably get stumped by Green Ukraine. Let us United Communes of America. And the American will collapse now. Let's read this whole thing. When Elizabeth Gurley Flynn's assumed the presidency following the assassination of James Winslow Cox, felt high hopes of her administration, the first woman, the first socialist to hold office. Flynn has succeeded expectation, either in virtually every element of the American political landscape outside of her own IWW camp. Her short stay in the Oval Office was marked by careless, constant effort to end the Dust Bowl, provide unemployment relief, collapse in the face of defections from her party in opposition to her radical policies, losing control over the federal apparatus in the face of open defiance from state governments, military officers, and the general public. The power of the federal government has broken. Flynn has fled to a territory in the upper Midwest occupied by her militias and proclaimed an American Commonwealth, while the military has formed an emergency council to southeast to manage the crisis. Elsewhere, state and local governments now answer to no one. Now comes the disunited States of America.
When you kiss me, heaven side.
Situation with Americans on the possible hijack.
What's going on that aircraft?
Nothing is more unpredictable than a mob. Nothing more obscure than public opinion. Nothing more deceptive than the whole political system. Suetonius. So the American collapse is here. And now from the ashes, this will be something new. Hopefully. It's gonna be very interesting to see exactly what I'm able to do this. I did this like I played this in California quite a bit ago. Let's see. There's another get a bit of a warm up, and it's a bit of a pain. Actually, once I get over to like the big two over here, can be a bit of a pain, especially this neat because they got a bunch of buffs and all that. But I think things been changed over here. Anyways, with the total collapse of the serious government authority, both federal and state, the people of Northern California have in quite a shocking manner concession from our great state. Obviously, since this cannot stand, we must return the rule of law to this. Via recent trouble imposed laws on our land, our state borders are clearly defined as if we were to preserve stability, we must keep our borders secure until this crisis ends. See, I'm going to suggest an ultimatum. If they accept, we annex them. If they refuse, we go to war with them. Was that really? I'll be saving that war off for a bit. Get that limited conscription. Let's get Southern California arms factories. What's the idea, Jefferson? I'll think about what I choose for that one later anyways. The ever since the joke of a nation above us, it barely holds on to the mountain realm, highly pillar forts with toy guns as our soldiers and orders of tin wine about raw automatics, something the Ruby ones discovered they weren't so uppity. Now it's time to strike. It's time to do something about these separatists wreaking out Battle of California, our golden nation, our beauty. We will stop them all, stop them at all costs if we were to get that precious raw land mountains back. Powers need of water, of resources, of grain. Need those resources or our people would dwindle. Regardless, it only get the Riverside Council that need push of legitimacy. Play the war plans. Indeed. Gonna wait just a wee bit. Better weapons. Wait just a little bit just so we can have the equipment needed. I'd like to get as much of that as we can before we start going to war. I mean, Jefferson State isn't much of a threat. Just a bit of pain really. I guess we get logistics. And logistics, my boy. Recon as well. have 0 popularity. Very funny. So might as well stack up just a wee bit. I should probably done this. You forgot about that. That's how I did it. Damn stupid. And we're out of time. So this episode, America fully collapsed, and we're getting started soon with our stuff. We just need to put out the military just a wee bit. Then we can really get the ball rolling. But until then, I'll see y'all later. Bye.